Okay, we are now live and recording, everybody. I wanted to make sure that this meeting was recorded because there's a lot going on and a lot of chatter on the news, on Twitter, and everywhere else, especially on what's going on financially. And we have an amazing partner in our office who is here to help everyone with their transactions and getting things closed. And I'm just going to share the screen right now, because my piece I'm going to go through rather quickly but thoroughly, because I want to make sure that Karina has enough time. And just as an introduction, I am sitting here with our new agent, Antonella, who's joining us from Keller Williams. So we're super excited to have you on board and part of our family. So when you see her, say hi, wave, hug her, I don't know, however you want to greet her. But she is here. We are still, of course, in the process of our Weichert Reimagine. Some of you may have seen that our property management piece of the company has been sold. That piece was an ancillary piece for us. Nothing really changes. It's now part of HGH. Our NTN process that was associated with them still remains the same. So same access, same everything. If you have any questions on that after this meeting, please let me know. We are in the fourth quarter. This is it. This year has gone by so very fast. I kind of feel like we just said Happy New Year and we're about to say it again. The thing with the fourth quarter, this is not when we stop. This is when we add fuel, because this is where you can make your year and how you set up your first quarter of 2023. How we're going to do that is from this point forward to December 15th, every conversation is about get your two. What that means is having 2 transactions closed between now and December 15th. That is very, very doable for every single one of you. And I definitely want you to ask me questions. I just want to walk through the how do you do that. One of the things is attending all of our prospecting and call sessions. I had call sessions on the calendar for October, and I sat here for one call session with 0 people. Now, you may be calling from home. If you are, let me know. If you want to come in so you can work on your dialogue, come in and call with me. And I had it, it was on the calendar in the evening. 4 open houses per month. You can pick your days, whether you're doing a Thursday twilight, a Friday twilight, Saturday, Sunday. The reason for the 4 is you need to be in front of as many people as possible so you can secure your 2. Tashana was here for our training, our open house training. And I'm not sure, are you able to talk about that at all, Tashana?
Sure, I'll talk about it. So I think the training was good for me because I have been doing some open houses, but the training helped me to see where I could do some things better and where I could incorporate some things. So we did some role play, which was very helpful to me because it just let me know where I could do a little bit better and letting the buyers come in and kind of guide me to where they wanted to be, or to kind of figure out what was most important to the buyer, like during that first 5 minutes of our conversation. So it was helpful.
Thank you, Tashana. That's going to be back on the schedule again, because your objective at that open house is to walk out with at least 1 appointment, depending upon how many people are there. You should have a buyer's appointment and, following the open house plan, a listing appointment, because That is why you're calling around the neighborhood, doing your door knockers for your open house, inviting the neighbors there, so you're able to pick up that listing appointment. So that's step 2. Next is dial and connect with 100 people per week. You can call through your CRM, you're calling your past clients, you're calling everyone you met at open houses, you are calling your buyers that you had at the beginning of the year who may have decided that they were going to take a small break because of what was going on. This is when you reach back out to them and bring them back in and reconnect with them. Sending out 100 mailers per week. Some of you are very consistent with your mailers, and that is exactly what it needs to be, because that person is going to list, you want them to list with you. I will be picking up more stamps from the post office as soon as they have the rolls. They didn't have them the other day when I was there. I'm going to put another date on the calendar for letter writing, but that's something that you need to be doing so you can get your 100 mailers out each week. Door knocking, 25 doors each week. We have door knocking on the calendar tomorrow from 1 to 3. I will be here and I'm expecting to see others with me. So 25 door knocks each week. Send out 100 video messages. That's where having your farm in your contact management system, using your social media. You're going to see a daily dose of good news featuring Sandy, who did an amazing video. Karina and I made a video yesterday that's gonna be posted. I happened to see from Emmanuel one that he is posting. It does not have to be the, if you say the Academy Award winning video. Get the message out. People need to hear from you because there's too much other chatter that's out there. And again, get your mailers out. These are steps that everybody can do. Using your contact management system, reaching out to your farm, contacting your sphere of influence. Who has a question about what I've just said? Does anyone think that they can't do this? Oh, go ahead, Deshawn, I'm sorry.
I was going to ask about the video messages.
Mm-hmm.
Are we saying do this on like our YouTube channels, or does it matter to KV4? Or
You can do it through your CRM. If you create the video, Doug did a training Wednesday night on doing a video and how to post. And I know he has the information out there. We can get that out to everyone, because I've done the video, but I have to follow up with him on the steps I need to get it posted. So I'm learning right along with you guys, because my thing is I cannot ask you to do something if I can't do it as well, or if I'm not doing it as well. So it's a learning, but you know, we can, you know, we help each other with it. So I'll find out about that, Tashana.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else have questions on the Get Your Two?
Jason,
Mhm.
just one thing that I want to let everybody know. When you guys put in an open house and you announce an open house on your MLS, right? I get a notice that you guys are doing an open house for a certain weekend. When I get that, when I'm doing and creating open house flyers, there's a digital software that they offer us also to be able to do that open house flyer and send it to any contacts that the realtors agents have on their CRMs, right? So they can post the open house and announce it that way as well. You know, it might be useful if, you know, to get the word out that open houses are going on this weekend, you know, with all of your people.
Perfect.
You know, it might be a tool that we can use. I know I've been looking more and more into it because of these open house flyers for Christian, for Sandy, for Maria, for everybody here. But it might be a way of getting it out, you know, getting the news out there, another door knocker, let's say, you know, but through email.
It's just getting you in front of people, getting people to know that you're here and that you're able to help them. So each piece. For a listing, is everyone using, and the word just shot out of my head, the playbook, I'm sorry. Is everyone posting their listings on the playbook? For everybody who has a listing right now, have you put it on the playbook? Okay, Clint's here with us and he said no. So then that's fine. We start where we start, because you want to introduce that property to the people in your office, because they need to know this is where we start making sure we're selling our own inventory.
Hi,
So
it's Antonique.
go ahead.
I think I successfully, at least I was trying to from my cell phone while I was multitasking, resent the playbook for my listing at 232 Goldsmith. I'll be doing an open house this Sunday from 1 to 4. So I believe I resent the playbook.
You did, I saw it.
Okay, great.
Everyone check your email. This is how we keep each other informed with everything that's going on. So we're going to put up a visual on the Get Your Two. Everyone starts with 0. And then by December 15th, I'm looking for everybody to have their 2. If you look at our average commission check, just an average of $3,500, that is how much if we have 2? Clint said 7,000. So would everyone like an extra 7,000 for the holidays? I'm just asking. So anything that you have after that, that is setting up your first quarter of 2023. You don't want to have to restart in January. If you are following these activities from now through, you're going to have your 2 closed by December 15th, and then you're going to have yourself set up to have closings in the first quarter. That's what this business is all about. It is having closings every month, every other month, as we move through. If anyone needs help with these activities, all of us are here to help you. I'm here, Karina, all of our Under One Roof partners, because every call that I have with each of you, I'm going to be asking, how close are you to getting your 2? And what I can do to help you get there. All right. We're going to take a look at the listings again that we have in our office. We should be looking to sell these properties. We have Gibbsboro, Morris Plains, that's Edelane's listing. She's doing a price reduction on this property. She's going to be doing an open house on Sunday. Someone has someone looking in that Morris Plains area. Ellie's listing in Elizabeth, that's a 2-family. Someone here has a 2-family buyer. Get an offer in. You can't negotiate an offer if you don't submit it. Shara has a 2-family in East Orange at 310. Clint has Grove Street at 305. That one's gone, I believe, right? We have Wilson Place. Clint also has a condo here on Stuyvesant. We need to follow up with each other. Chadwick Avenue in Newark, 315. Dartmouth here in Union, 549.9. Christian's going to be there for an open house. Get your clients over to the open house. Newport, Housestead Lane in Newport, 750. Someone's looking for land. Clint has a new listing on Clinton Avenue at 407. That is a, what type of property? On Clinton Avenue. That's a mixed use property. So it's how many units that are rental available? 1 unit rental, and then there's a storefront on the ground floor. So that's 407. Who has someone looking for something like that? That's a great investment opportunity. Nothing happens if nothing happens. You've got to get your clients in to talk to them and get them out there.
If that's a primary, that's an FHA,
Mhm.
right? So they're looking at the, 5% down.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Clint also
you.
has a property on Niles. What number now? 836 Niles here in Union. He's gonna be here at an open house Saturday and Sunday. And that's listed for how much? $499. Get your buyer in there. Get an offer in. That's one of your two. Again, everything should be shooting for your 2 closings before December 15th. I'm gonna turn it over to Karina, and we're gonna really talk about how she's going to help you and your clients to get to your 2. So Karina, you can just let me know when you want to move to the next slide, all right?
Yeah. Well, we're still on the temporary buy downs, right? Trying to offer our clients our first year, second year better rates when they obtain a house, smaller payments, right, for the initial years, on the hopes that they get in there and have an affordable payment. For the first 2 years with these high prices and these high rates, it's an option, right, to offer to the buyers, and also to the sellers, right? I just did some visuals for you guys. We're going to have a lunch and learn on the temporary buy down program and exactly what it is. But this is what it is. Our agenda today: the changing of the market. What is a buy down? The benefits and costs, illustrations, and possible options for the future. The changing market, the rush to purchase has slowed because of the higher rates and prices. Many homes are not selling as quickly. I'm sure you guys noticed on your open houses and your listings, we're not having 20, 30 people lined up to see that one house, right? So because it's hesitated some of the people in finding out whether they should buy, they should sell. I hear conversations all the time, and I hear that your clients are concerned. Should they rent? Should they buy? We still want to emphasize the fact that we can't do anything as far as rates are concerned, but we can give them options to be able to get themselves into programs that are affordable for their mortgages, right? I'm sure if the rates stay up, I'm sure much more programs are going to be available to them. The adjustable products will come back into the market. It always happens. Banks have to lend. So there's always going to be money out there to be able to finance. We just have to be able to just change and pivot a little bit, because it is a challenging market today. But a lot of this also, as far as the buy down is concerned, and basically what is a buy down, right? Simply put, a buy down is a method of lowering the interest rate on a mortgage. Of course, this buy down does not come without a cost, but it comes with many benefits as well. Benefits to the buyer, benefits to the seller. If something is sitting, as far as a listing is concerned, and it's sitting for weeks, I know that you guys take a look at it and eventually say, hey, maybe this is too high priced. Maybe if I reduce the price of it today, and talk to my seller, I can get them to have more activity with the market and maybe possibly get an offer for the seller. When you're considering that, take a step back and say, you know what, seller, maybe you should try and consider a concession to pay a buyer for a temporary buy down. The concessions today, right, they're $10,000, $12,000 at sometimes. If they would get a concession to be able to do a temporary buy down, I did a visual and I have them here at my office, and I can email them to you guys to be able to see. But let's say we have a purchase price, a listing for $500,000, and they want to do this. You talk the seller into doing a seller's concessions, and you say, seller, $10,200, we can offer the buyer, there's much more buyers out there that can use the money for closing costs. Let's give them that option first before we reduce. If they did that, the mortgage payment on a typical buyer buying at a 10% down with a loan amount of $450, their payment would be $2280, principal and interest payment only, right? When you're reducing by $20,000-$30,000 at a clip. That's a lot to a seller. So if you offer them the 10,000 versus the 30,000 reduction, I think they're going to look to say, hey, you know what, maybe I should consider a concession, because they have to be able to, you know, just change their way of thinking. Right now, the sellers were out there thinking that highest and best. That may not be, I'm sure it's out there for certain markets, but it can't be every single market out there. And if you have the conversation and you initiate the option to them, they may do it. I got a survey from Doug. I'm going to send out the actual link to it, but I got a survey from Doug that says 41% of sellers in the last year did accepted contingencies as part of their contract. 41%. 67% of sellers added and contributed to repairs after a home inspection. 32% of sellers in last year paid buyers' closing costs. So sellers are obviously also helping in the transaction and helping people to get into their homes and offering. So that conversation might be a little bit, you know, of a challenge to a seller that's, you know, set on his price, but give them an option of, maybe you want to do a seller's concessions to do a temporary buy down for a buyer and get more activity through your property, right? So the temporary buy downs that are out there, I'm going to do a lunch and learn based on it. It's a lot of data today to go over, but it pretty much secures and buys the rate down for them. 2% for the 2-1 option, temporary option. So it goes from, if you had a 6.5% interest rate that you start, and those interest rates at 6.5 are for bigger down payments, right? They're not the 3%, they're not the 5% downs, because you know how banks work. They work on risk. If you bring them a 5% loan, 5% down payment loan, they're going to get a higher rate than a 10% down, a 15% down, and eventually a 20% down gets you the best option, best rate out there. That's what they're talking about here when they're saying you can get down to a 4.5% interest rate. It's that scenario, a 20% down program. You could bring it down to 4.5% on the first year, 5.5% on the second year. Years 3 through 30 will be at 6.5, which is the fully indexed rate at that time. All right. So there's a lot of, there's costs, there's points involved. Come to me, talk to me. I will be looking at this as far as, on a daily basis to give you guys the most updated information and what rates are doing. You can always call me and let me know, hey, Karina, you know what? I just sat down, or I'm going to sit down with a buyer and I want to give them an idea of where rates are at, that's fine. You can say, okay, well, they're ranging around whatever, 6.5 to 7%, you can say, right? But when it comes to on a daily basis, allow me to take that off your shoulders, because it's going to be a little bit challenging if you start talking interest rates to them too. You guys are professionals at selling and buying, and finding those great homes for your buyers. I want you guys to be able to just concentrate on that and let me handle the financing part of the interest rate, dilemma that we have going on right now. All right. Why is the 3-2-1 buy down the maximum? According to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac rules, the maximum buy down period is 3 years, and the rate can rise no more than 1% each year. Note, if the down payment is 3%, 4.5 points would be higher than the allowable seller's contribution. So that doesn't make sense today, right? Because the prices are just too high. So Fannie and Freddie have a maximum as far as what you can contribute towards their buy down programs. So that's why I'm gearing myself to the 2-1. I think it's best benefit right now for your buck. All right. Temporary buy downs right now are existing. Permanent buy downs are out there as far as the market is concerned, but they haven't bought them in yet. Perhaps if we keep these higher rates, they will. But right now, it's just not there. It's just not there. But let's see what happens. Sellers benefits with homes not selling as quickly. We talked about that. Offering buy downs is an incentive, right? So they're giving you, samples of exactly what we just spoke about and the cost of the temporary buy down. So it's a little bit more than what we wanted to handle here today at this business meeting, but I'm going to have a lunch and learn for this. Weichert Financial will sponsor a lunch at that time, and then we'll get more down to the nitty gritty, right? And more personal one-to-one with you guys. Just let me know what you guys need, and I will be happy to provide. I'm also working on visuals for you guys for the temporary buy downs, so I can give them to you guys and email them to you. All right, so let me know what you guys need. I'm excited. You guys have a lot of open houses going on this weekend. I am doing flyers for you guys and giving you your marketing material. Please, please, please feel free to email me, text me on weekends. I'm there, I'm available. I'm here to serve. All right. And good luck, you guys, with your open houses this weekend.
Clint has a question. Come on over, Clint.
Right? No. It still has to praise for the right?
Mr. Clint, your voice is not like you're using two devices.
Oh, no, because we had the door open. Wait,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Put your phone on mute, Mr. Clint.
It's an echo there, Clint.
1 second, Clint's just gonna walk over.
He's gonna ask me a personal question.
So question for you, in reference to the buy down, right?
Uh-huh.
It still has to appraise for the buy down price in there, right?
For your actual sales price, whatever your sales
Okay,
price
say
is.
for example, you said $500,000, right?
Uh-huh.
You want to give them $10,000 to sell concessions.
Yeah.
Does it have to price for 510?
No, 500,000.
Okay.
You're giving him $10,000 seller's concessions from that 500. So your purchase price is really, your purchase price is 500, but your seller's concession is taking 10,000 off. So it's really 490.
It's 490.
Right.
Okay.
The appraisal has to come in at 500 regardless.
Okay, so the actual sale price to the seller is 490.
No, the actual sales price to the seller is 500,000.
Okay,
The seller's concessions is part of the contract, not part of the change of the sales price.
That's kind of confusing. I don't understand that part there because you're giving them $10,000. Where's that coming from?
Oh, seller. Of course,
Okay, so
the seller.
there again, so their net's going to be 490 or 500.
They're going to net 490. Yes.
Okay, so they're not getting 500. Okay.
Yeah, but the appraisal has to appraise at 500,000 because that's all the bank will finance is whatever the appraisal
Okay.
is.
Now, okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Same.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
The seller's concession is, that's a great idea because that helps your client, it helps that seller. And again, as Karina said, when we're looking at doing price improvements, we typically do them in increments of 10,000. So if you're doing a drop of 10,000, you still haven't received an offer, you do another drop of 20,000. That's a lot to take off versus, hey, if I can just get a $10,000 or $7,000 seller concession and your buyer is happy, the seller walks away, they're happy, and we're closed.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts, but that's why we're here to help you. But, it's another option, particularly with, I would say there's a little volatility, if I would say that, Karina, in the market right now, a little bit of up and down with what's happening. And again, a lot of this is local based. Our average sale price in our office right now is a little over $481,000. You go to an area that has a different price point, they may have very different issues or concerns, I should say, with their buyer pool. But remember, buyers are hearing information that is not always correct. They are hearing that the market is going to crash. I can get a deal now and offer $50,000 under list price. Why should I even buy a house? You know, interest rates are going to be 12%. There's so much information out there, and TikTok is not your best place of finding competent information, but
Right.
people go to different places for it. So that's why I wanted to make sure that this meeting was recorded, because I want you to be able to go back, look at the slides, and listen to what Karina was saying with this, and come into her lunch and learn. Any questions for Karina from what you've heard or what you're hearing out there on the street?
It is some Fed's news, like yesterday, rates are already above 7%. So they're gonna go like 125. Like till next month, they'll be like 8 or 9.
No.
Is it true, Miss Karina?
No, not yet, Syed. And
Feds
God
they are
forbid,
thinking about it. I'm so sorry. Feds, they're
not yet.
thinking.
You know what? Actually, the market was doing good until this jobs report came out today. Jobs report came out today, not great. We had we were estimating about 250,000 new jobs, 263,000 came in. So it was
Yes.
over what they proposed. So they kind of expected it, but under the 300,000 mark, which would show that we're actively coming back from this, you know, inflation, recession, not inflation information. They are not at 8%. I hope that they don't go that route. But like I said to you, if they do, Syed, then we're talking adjustable products, more options for adjustable programs out there. Adjustable programs typically are, you know, 3-4% lower than the fixed rate. So we're just gonna have to shift our thinking of, you know, do we want to do a 30-year fixed anymore? You know, being that they are at, God forbid, 8%. We're gonna have to show our buyers options of adjustable programs so they can get out there and have maybe 10 ones, 7 ones that secure their interest rate for that small amount of time to ride this out. What's your famous saying, Cynthia? You on your
Marry the house, date the rate, divorce the rent.
exactly.
Clint
it's
has
not
a
gonna
question.
get
Come
them
on over,
going.
Clint.
Not really a question for the most part. For the most part, guys, buyers are still out there. Property. On us to get them buying out interest rate, because the buyers are still out there. They're not slowing down at all.
Right.
And so they're out there. So it's on us to educate those buyers as to what's really going on in the market out there, because buyers are out there.
Yes. And especially in Union County, it's very active.
Right, real estate drives the economy. What you want to think of is when not letting your buyer drive you. Your first step is to bring that buyer in or meet them at a property, but you need to do that buyer's consultation. That is important for you for several reasons. One, you're establishing agency with that buyer, so they understand how agency works in the state of New Jersey and how you work. Two, they walk through the process. That is why we have that beautiful Candyland chart. So they see all the steps that they're going to need to do to secure that house. They also hear you as the professional. They're, again, watching television. They're thinking, oh, you know, I'm just going to walk in a house. They're going to tell me to walk through. I'm going to come back and it'll be fine. No, that's not how it works. There's a process. Also, when you have them here, sitting with them for that buyer's consultation, that's your warm transfer to have them meet with Karina. So let her know when you're doing your buyer's consultation, because you want to make sure that that pre-approval that you have in your hand is real and will close, because there are several small I guess, mortgage brokerages, to say it that way, that have closed, that have filed chapter, what, 13, Karina? Bankruptcy.
Yeah, bankruptcy protection, yeah.
Right. So if you get a client, you meet them and you're like, yay, I have this buyer, I have a pre-approval, they haven't spoken to Karina, you haven't done a buyer's consultation, you get there and submit that offer, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we're really sorry, but we're not able to fund this loan anymore because we don't have any money, because we've just filed for bankruptcy. That's not, for us, running a successful business. You want to have your due diligence always with the transactions. Listings, you want to ask them, what do they owe? Did they sign up for a forbearance during COVID? Because that piece of the loan is attached to them as well, and they may not be thinking about it because it's separate. So they might say, oh, I owe 200,000, but on the back end, there's a separate piece of a loan that's maybe 80,000 or 100,000. So it's asking the right questions. That's where knowing your Weichert tools and using your resources will help you to get to your 2 closed transactions by December 15th. Look on the calendar. I do a buyer's consultation class. I do the listing presentation class. I have a call session. I do an open house class. Boot camp has all of those in there. This coming week, Wednesday, boot camp, we're going to have Kevin Barry, who's the director of Weichert Rental. I said this to Shauna the other day, that rental, you need to treat them like a buyer, because they can be looking to rent because they're going to sell their house. One of the agents asked that question to a renter. Out of curiosity, why are you looking to rent? This is a high price that you're looking to pay for rental. And they said, oh, we want to sell our house, but we want to make sure we have somewhere to live. If they didn't ask that question, they would have just said, okay, I'll find you a rental, and someone else would have listed their house. It's about asking the right questions, and you'll hear me say that more than once. Ask questions and then ask yet another one, because that rental can come in and turn into extra business for you. Right now, errors and omissions were due. If you haven't paid that, do a quick rental, get that paid. Your board dues are coming up in December. As business owners, we have business expenses. Get a quick rental done to cover your board dues. In addition to getting your 2, think about how you want to navigate those pieces. But everybody needs to have 2 closed transactions by the 15th. Check the visual for that. Let us know how we can help. Any questions? Any concerns? So that means everybody I'm looking at on here is going to be bringing in their 2 transactions to be closed. Clint just said hip hip hooray. Okay. You know what? I think that's the perfect ending point for our meeting. I will be following up with each of you. I'll be sending out the video and you'll have the slides. But please, if you have questions on any of this, reach out to me, reach out to Karina and all of your partners, and we'll help you with getting your 2. That's the objective. That's the marching orders. It's 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Hi, can I add something?
Yes.
I just want to say that you have to remind your buyers that we're being spoiled for so many years with the low down payments in history. But before, on the 1980s, it was like 18, 30, and even 40% down payments. So seeing that low, like 3% and 2%, it hurts the economy as well. So hopefully it's not going crazy and not going 10, 11, whatever. But it's just that it's just, I see it in the way that it's just getting the market what it's supposed to be before. That's why they're just lower little by little. So it's established a little bit more. And it's just like 6% is reasonable because many people are getting into loans that they're not even qualified for. So it's like ruining the market as well. That's what I think.
Thank you, Ms. Dilcia.
I
Go
think
ahead.
that just adds up to, you know, people are gonna buy houses when it's 10%. People are gonna buy houses when there's 9%. People's gonna buy houses when there's 8%. People's gonna buy houses, you know, it's been happening, right?
Mhm.
And like Dilcia says, you know, we went through this pandemic and it was just an anomaly what happened with rates, right? So we're past that, we've moved on, and we gotta just, you know, accept for what it is. We can't control it, and just make our market.
Right, because you are owning your home. People will spend 10% interest rate to buy a car, but will raise their eyebrow at 6% to buy a home to live in.
Right.
So this is where, as Clint said, we're the professionals. It's our job to educate them and educate the public on what it is that they're looking to do, and knowing like, hey, you're going to put your family in a home. Isn't that more important than an extra $20 on your mortgage? So I'm going to end at that note with hip hip hooray from Clint Mitchell. You will get the information sent back out to you from today's meeting, unless there's any more questions. There's lunch here in the office for those that are here. And let's be successful, people. And again, door knocking tomorrow from 1 to 3. I'll send out a reminder text on that. I'll be here, and we're going to go and hit our town. That counts.
Where are you door knocking at, Cynthia?
Where would you like to door knock, Kia?
I don't know. You know, I've never been before, so I'm gonna come tomorrow.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to pick some streets here in Union, introduce ourselves to our neighbors, and let them know it's a great time to sell their house.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
See you
Go ahead.
tomorrow at 12:30.
Wait, who said that?
I said, okay, see you tomorrow at 12:30.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll get your door knockers together and we'll hit the road. I think we should go by Marty's house, actually. Go see Marty. All right, Pete. I will see. Go ahead, Linda. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just wanted to alert you to the email I sent you yesterday evening. If you could take a peek at it, if you have feedback, but the flyer.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. All right, guys, hit lunch. All right, bye-bye.
And
Bye,
everybody.
everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye. Have a good one. Be successful.